So we were discussing software engineering interview questions. Let us take few more. How can you gather requirements? You can gather requirements by interviews, or so you can present a paper and let them write on it user requirement. So there are various methods. Requirement can be gathered from user via interviews, say surveys, task analysis, brainstorming, domain analysis, prototyping, studying existing usable version of behavior. So the software which is already available, you can gather the requirement from that there also, and by observation, of course. What is SRS? Software Requirement Specification. SRS is a document produced at the time of requirement gathering process. So it can be also seen as a process of refining requirements and documenting them. So it is a contract. It is actually a signed contract between you and the user, so that you know what to work and you know what he has given to you and what he is expecting. Next is, what is functional requirements. In SRS you have two type of requirements: functional requirement and non-functional requirement. So what are these functional requirements? Functional requirements are functional features and specification which are expected by users from the proposed software product. These are the features, software uh, functions actually what you require. So what are non-functional requirements then? Like you want certain performance, you want certain type of say efficiency. So non-functional requirements are implicit, and they are related to security, performance, look and feel of user interface, interoperability, cost, etc. Now, what is a software measure? Software measures can be understood as a process of quantifying and symbolizing various attributes and aspects of software. Software measures, process of quantifying and symbolizing various attributes and aspects of software. What is software metric? Software metric, it provides the measures of various aspects of software process and software product. So it provides the measure of various aspects of software process and software product. Or you can also say the degree of the attribute which is present in the process or software is the software metric. So they are divided into requirement metric, product metric, process metric. So in requirement metric, it can be length requirements, completeness. In the product metrics, it can be line of codes, object-oriented metrics, design and test metrics. While the process metrics, it can be to evaluate and track the budget, the schedule, and the human resource. Now, what is modularization? Modularization is trying to decompose or formulate your main work into different modules or parts. So modularization is a technique to divide the software system into multiple discrete modules which are expected to carry out tasks which are done, expected to work out independently. That means this is independent of another. That is why we will discuss about just now that these modules should be having strong cohesion and no coupling. What is cohesion then? Cohesion is a measure that defines the degree of intra-dependability among the elements of the module. So if this is a module and you have various elements here, what is the functional strength between these elements, or what is the functional strength of this module? That means the work which is assigned to this module, say this work is assigned as security. Well, this is a non-functional requirement, but still, just understand, for example, it has to do things which are related to security. So if it is doing related to security and also doing work for user interface, this is not done. If all the elements are only subjected to, or they work only for security, then we say that this module is having a very fine or good functional strength. This module can be reused again. This is the beauty, and this is the feature requirement. What is coupling? Now these are various modules. What is the interdependence between these two modules or number of modules? So coupling is the measure that defines the level of interdependability among modules of a program. Then what is concurrency and how it is achieved in software? Concurrency is the tendency of events or actions to take place or happen simultaneously. So in software, when two or more processes execute simultaneously, they are called as concurrent processes. For example, while you initiate print command and printing starts, you can open a new application. Concurrency, which is implemented by splitting the software into multiple independent units of execution, namely process and then threads and then executing. Threads are nothing but the lightweight processes only, and They work in parallel. That is why how we can achieve the concurrency. Next is mention some software analysis and design tools. You have DFDs. First you make the DFDs, then you make structured chart. You also have structured English data dictionary and hierarchical input process output hippo diagrams, ER diagrams, and decision tables. These are all the software analysis and design tools. What is zero level or level 0 DFD or context? Highest abstraction level of DFD is known as the level 0 DFD, also called as a context level DFD, which depicts the entire information system as one diagram, just one diagram, and concealing all the underlying details, no details, just what it is, how it is interacting with the external system. So the level 0 DFD, which is the context level, is like that. What is the difference between the structured English and pseudocode? Structured English is native English language used to write the structure of a program module by using certain programming language keywords. Whereas the pseudocode is more close to the programming language and it uses native English language words or sentences to write parts of the code. What is data dictionary? What is data dictionary? Data dictionary is referred to as metadata, which means that it is a repository of data about data. Data dictionary contains the metadata. So this is used to organize the names and their references used in the system, such as objects and files along with their naming conventions. What is structured design? Structured design is a conceptualization of problem into several well-organized elements of solution. The structured design conceptualization of problem into several well-organized elements of solution. It is concerned with the solution design and based on the divide and conquer strategy. What is the difference between function-oriented and object-oriented design? Function-oriented design is comprised of many smaller subsystems known as functions. And each function is capable of performing certain tasks which is significant to itself. And object-oriented design works around the real-world objects like entities and their classes and the methods which are operating on these objects, which are called the functions. Briefly define top-down and bottom-up design. Top-down model starts with generalized view of a system and decomposes it. Means top is there, then we try to decompose it into more specific ones. Whereas the bottom-up model starts with more specific and basic components and we try to combine them. Specific and basic components which we keep composing the component to get a higher level of abstraction. What is the basis of Halstead complexity measure? Halstead complexity measure is based on the operator and operand. So Halstead complexity measure depends on the actual implementation of the program, and not this is not about the line of codes. It considers tokens used in the program as the basis of measure. So tokens are the basis of measure in the Halstead complexity measure. Next is mention the formula for cyclomatic complexity, calculating the cyclomatic complexity. This is McCabe's cyclomatic complexity of the program. This is nothing but E minus n plus 2. So you make a control flow graph, CFG, and on the basis of that, you calculate the number of edges, number of nodes. E minus n plus 2 is the complexity, cyclomatic complexity. What is functional programming? Functional programming is a style of programming language which uses the concept of mathematical function. Functional programming is a style of programming language which uses the concept of mathematical function. So it provides us the means of computation as mathematical functions, which produces results irrespective of the program state. Define or differentiate the validation and verification. Validation checks if the process or the product is it is not process, it will be product only, is made up as per user requirements, whereas verification checks if proper steps are followed to develop the product. So understand it like this: validation is as per the SRS, whereas you can understand verification maybe as per design. Okay, but the main thing is verification is what we are doing is correct or not, or what we have done is correct is validation. So validation confirms the right product, and verification confirms if the product is built in a right way. What is black box and white box testing? Black box testing checks if the desired outputs are produced when valid inputs are given. Black box means the box is black, you don't see inside, you are not aware of the program construct, you just give input and take the output. So it does not verify the actual implementation of the program. While on the other hand, white box testing not only checks for the desired valid input when a valid input is provided, but also checks for the code which is implemented correctly or not. Then these are the criteria of black box testing and white box testing. The knowledge of first is the knowledge of software program design and structural is essential or not. In black box testing, it is not required. White box testing of course, it is required. The knowledge of software program design and structure is essential. Knowledge of software implementation is essential. In white box testing, yes. Black box testing, no. Who conducts this test on software? Black box testing, software testing employee. While the white box testing can be done by the software developer. The baseline reference for tester in black box testing, the requirement specification. While in the white box testing, it is design and structure details. Design and structure details. Quality assurance versus quality control. See, quality assurance monitors to check if the proper process is followed while software development is taking place. While quality control deals with managing the quality of the software product. What are the various types of software maintenance? There are 4 types of software maintenance: preventive, corrective, adaptive, and perfective. So these are corrective, adaptive, perfective, and preventive. Corrective is removing errors spotted by the users. Adaptive is adapting to the changes, so tackling the changes in the hardware and software environment as the software works. Perfective, making it more perfect to perform to increase its efficiency. So implementing changes in existing new requirements of the user. And preventive means taking appropriate measures just to avoid any future problems. What is software re-engineering? Software engineering is a process to upgrade the technology on which the software is built without changing the functionality of the software. Functionality remains the same. You go to the code and you try to find out the through the code you try to find out the design, and then through design you find out the requirements. This is done in order to keep the software tuned with the latest technology. What are CASE tools? Computer aided software engineering tools. CASE, which stands for computer aided software engineering. These tools are a set of automated software application programs which are used to support and accelerate and smoothen your SDLC activity, software development lifecycle. So there can be different tools for different phases, or there can be one tool. There are various tools which like you have JUnit, etc., which works on the complete SDLC. So these are a few more questions on software engineering. Hope you have benefited by it. Thank you so much. Take care.